Hello everyone, it's Caribbean E. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's just having a wonderful day and that you're safe and that you're in the best of health. Today Caribbean E is coming with you today with a subject: having a career job opens doors. Having a career job opens doors. You know, I never was kind of like told this when I was coming up, because I came up and real early, at the age of 6 or 7, my father beat my mother up, tore up all her clothes, and left, and I haven't seen him since. I was living in the projects. At that time, we had to go on welfare. My mother became an alcoholic, a compulsive alcoholic, always in the street, hanging out with strange men, the whole 9 yards. So we had to end up going to live with my sister, my older sister. Stayed with her for a while. Things are really, really tight. She just had 3 bedrooms, and it was 5 of us, and all the boys slept in one bed together, all the girls slept in one bed together upstairs. And we had a living room downstairs, the kitchen, and my older sister and my brother-in-law had the bedroom downstairs. We had one restroom for the whole house. One restroom, one bathtub, and one sink for the whole house for everybody to use. So, coming up, I didn't have it that great. I ended up running away from home, went to one foster home to another, ended up at the children's shelter in Nutley, New Jersey, okay, and one situation to another. So I finally ended up at the YMCA until I graduated from Central High School in Newark, New Jersey, and at that time I came into the military. There's a lot of things that I see now that I didn't know and I wasn't trained on when I was coming up. You could hardly ever hear about career management, career training when I was coming up as a kid. I was just one of those kids, came up from a busted up home, but I'm glad that I ended up well here with a good retirement, living my life in Santiago, Dominican Republic. Never thought that, if I look back there, never thought I would end up here, but I'm glad because I got myself together, listened to some people, sat down, and here I am. So I want to do a video on young cats, and even some of you older people can tell your young nephews or brothers or sisters or daughters how the world works, because if you don't tell them, they'll never know. They'll hear a bunch of lies from the news media, but they need to know how the world works. So when they get my age, or when they get your age, and when they get college age, they can understand that they got to make the best out of what they can when they're young. Catch them while they're young, okay? And if they listen, bravo, congratulations, that's another success story. But if they don't listen, guess what? They'll have a sad ending. Now, this video is having a career job which opens doors. So I felt led to do this video because this is what a lot of people, even some grown folks, don't know, okay? The average working men and women, to know their place, they need to know their place in the working sector in America. I'll say it again because I kind of stumbled that up. The average working men and women need to know their place in the working sector in America. Many doors open and many doors close. Lots of small businesses, and small businesses are good. Nothing wrong with them. I would have loved if I could have worked for a small business, but you know what? I needed a career job to do what I need to have a career future. Okay? I needed a corporate job. And thank God I've landed into one. Lots of small businesses, the family atmosphere is good. Small businesses, the restaurants, stuff like that, the diners, they got a nice group of people. They serve good food. I hope they get back to full strength. My prayers go out with all of them. Some of them are family owned. They've been in business for years. And they're good. They're just good small businesses for people to work at if that's what you need to do. And they get good tips and they do good business. So while large, big, fat, too big to fail corporations are always cutting, and when the big corporations cut, they always cut from the bottom first. Okay? The bottom first, because they ain't gonna cut their pesos out that's up on the totem pole. They'll start with the bottom first. The least man will go first, especially if they don't like you. Now, not question, but the statement I'm going to make now. Don't get comfortable with any job, because at any time, anything could happen at any time. Anything could happen. That's why I always tell people you need to always have a rainy day fund. So when things like this come along, COVID-19, you won't be sitting and saying there, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Okay? You can have a backup, you can have something in the bank, and you can support you and your family or support yourself, still make your house note or apartment rent, and still keep your car. Okay? Today, I still promote college, even though they have outrageous college fees. Outrageous. And again, like I said before, without the president, I'll make it a law that whoever goes to college and you got a degree, you got job placement. It'll be against the law not to put you, because you got to pay that student loan back at some point. And that's why we have the big mess that we have now, because people that get those degrees can't get lined up with a job and sometimes end up doing other things. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So, it's all about having a career which can improve your lifestyle. When buying a home or car, your profession, career, job will get you your house or your car loan or whatever comes first. I found out that the business world, it's all about chemistry. It's all about how you flow. And another thing I want to mention, you got to begin to get on these kids and let them know that their career starts in high school. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and then you jump to college. But you got to be thinking about what you want to do with the rest of your life when you get to high school. And some of you start in junior high. You're always going to have a career, have goals. I asked a girl in my family, my niece in my family one time about a year ago. I said, "What are your goals? What are your dreams?" "I don't know." I said, "What are your goals? I don't know. I just don't have them." And she's the same person that goes from one job to another job to another job, not having a career, but depending on the system and depending on everybody else instead of taking care of her business. And she's the same young lady that has a child, and she's not married. Now, if you have children, you know you got to get out there and work. You know you can't be jumping from one job to another because you have a child, okay? So, I want to share my military experience or my life experience, because I got myself together when I graduated high school. First thing I did went in the military. Stayed 16 and a half years from active duty, over 13 years active duty, and I did some reserve time, which brought me to 16 and a half years, okay? And then I got a job working for public services, okay? Worked for public services for 29 years. Now, the same job that I did when I was in the military was the same job that I did when I got to public services. You see how it connects? It's a career field as a driver, as a truck driver. A lot of you that are truck drivers, that is your career. Your license have great value. As you can see right now, you probably put a lot of miles on those tires on that tractor trailer that you're driving right now, because people need you now like never before to restock those shelves, because a lot of people are in panic mode. And they go in the store and they shop like there's no tomorrow. It's going to be a tomorrow, okay? But you truck drivers, and I take my hat off to you, are in big demand right now. That is a career. Now, when I did my time in the military, I got out and I started working for public services. Well, people looked at me and said, "Oh, you're a sanitation, you just a trash collector." Well, they did like this to me when they see the truck go by. Or they held their nose and closed their mouths and made me look like I was the filth to the earth. But I tell you what, I always had a job. Always had a paycheck every week. Always had health insurance, vision, and dental. So you can hold your nose, bow your head, and look up and do whatever you have to do. But I tell you what, while people was getting locked out, put out, pushed out by the constable, I still had a paycheck, and I still had a mortgage, and I still was able to pay my bills. So, having a career speaks volume. In every season, it speaks volume. Because what I did in the military, I was overqualified. I drove everything, from a tractor trailer to forklift, working in warehouses in the military, restocking, giving supplies to different units. I did all that, all about transportation. Then when I got to public services, my military 348 was this thick. They said, man, you ain't a lot of that stuff you don't have to do. You ain't got to do the hazards. You just do the air brake test, and you're out of here because you're overqualified. You can do this job. And I brought that with me, and I brought my reputation with me because I'd already been working in that career field. Now I want you to follow me because I'm talking about a continual thing, because everything connects in what I'm getting ready to tell you. So having a career speaks volume. And what a career is a profession, like being a nurse, like being a truck driver, like being a professional chef, Dave Ramsey, okay? Airline pilot, a carpenter, a plumber, a doctor, a lawyer, a judge, a news reporter, an electrician, a veterinarian, another good, awesome career, a mechanic, whether it's a diesel mechanic, whether it's a jet engine mechanic, car, truck, okay? That's a career. And also being a realtor, that's career. And people make thousands and millions of dollars on real estate. And I take my hat off to all you career people that are out there still on the grind. You got your career going because you chose the right career coming out of the box. Now, one thing I learned when I was in the military, when I first went in the military, I tried to choose an MOS that wasn't overly crowded. Because if you choose a career field that's really, really crowded, then it's going to be hard for you to get in. But if you choose a career field that a lot of people don't want to go, that's where you need to go into. Like a nurse, like an anesthesiast. Study those kind of things. Even if you got to be a mortician, if that's something that you want to do. Or a hairstylist. Or a beautician or something like that, working at a salon or do nails. Sometimes you got to do the job that your career field is not overcrowded that you could, because sometimes you got to get in when you can fit in. Put your pride aside, get your career, and stick with it. Okay? And we're going to talk about that too. So, this is just some of the jobs I just read for you that lead to success. But this is the important part about the whole thing I want to say on this whole video. This is the most important part I want to say. And this is, your attitude will always affect your altitude. Did you get that? The success to your successful life in any career field you get, it's your attitude that will always affect your altitude. And some people don't want to listen. Younger people don't want to listen. They hard-headed. They want to do what they want to do. I had 2 kids that did it, and they end up coulda, shoulda, woulda. You got opportunity when you're in school. You got to be walking the hallways, smoking weed, all this kind of stuff. Get your career. Strive to be excellent, and aim high, like they say in the Air Force. And some people still go in the military. Great. If you want to go in the military, go great, and get your education. But let it account for something. Don't go in there and get with the wrong crowd and get in trouble. You got to make your life count from the time you come out of junior high into high school. But once you get that diploma, now you got to figure out what you're going to do the rest of your life. You can't sit around your mother or your father. You can't live in the basement forever. You got to get up and get your life going. And it is your career. And this is a crucial time in anyone's life, not just a kid, but anybody that wants success. This is crucial. Having a private business is also a career job. Because you're gonna handle that business. You're gonna still in it, whether you clean pools, whether you clean house, you got a house cleaning service, that's a career. And a career job, if you have been doing this for the same thing for so many years, a track record of doing the same thing for lots of years, gonna come in handy. And I'm gonna get to that part too. So jumping from job to job could present issues, okay, for you when your underwriter gets your loan packet. Because one day you're going to try to get a house. I've heard many success stories that people, even posted, and someone posted on Facebook, single women that got themselves together and got their house without the need of a man. I take my hat off to you. Doing well. You got your own house. You got your own spot. Nobody can put you out. Oh, that is such a success story. I had a niece that just did it. And I take my hat off to her because she listened. She got a good career. She got things going. And she's doing good all by herself. Now, if you're in a bad relationship, sometimes you got to get to yourself and do your own thing because you can do bad by yourself. Sometimes you got to walk your own path, do your own thing to have success, because sometimes people that you hang out with, that's your ball and chain. And they can pull you down while God is trying to pull you up. I know I'm saying something to somebody. So, jumping from job to job with that frog spirit and that rabbit spirit won't get you what you're trying to look for in life. Steady income is what the loan officers are looking for. Because that sooner or later, college students and high school students, as you get up there and you get your career, you're going to apply for a house loan, home loan one of these days. But you got to stick with the same thing. They're looking for steady income, okay? Buying a home is a big investment. It's going to be one of the biggest investments you can ever have in your life, is a home loan. And the mortgage companies want to see a good track record on your credit report, because they will check out your credit report out before they even think about giving you a loan. Whether it's $100,000, whether it's $200,000, whether it's $300,000. Okay? They want to see a track record. And if you go in there and you've been hopping from this job, 1 month you working for Wendy's, 6 months later you working for Burger King, 6 months later you at Applebee's, 6 months later you at TGI Fridays. Okay? I'm talking about a steady job with steady income, with a steady career that you know that you worked and you got a career job that the people that's going to give you the money will look at you and see that you're credible. Now, let me give you my experience, my story, because I can speak from experience. I ain't speaking about nothing that I heard. I had to go through the school of hard knocks. I started out in the military. If I didn't go in the military, I'd probably end up dead or on the streets, a bum. I'm glad I decided to do something in my life, because now you see me here in the Caribbean, loving every minute of it. Because you got to make the best out of your own life. Because if you don't, then who will? Then you got to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then who will? So, let me give you my story real quick. I've owned 4 homes in Las Vegas, Nevada. 4 homes I purchased in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I've never been turned down, not one time, for a home loan. Thank you, God. Not saying that I had the best credit rating, but I never got turned down. I did the same thing for many years. From the military to Republic service, I was a driver. So when my paperwork got before the underwriters, they said, wow, he's a government soldier, he's a veteran. He's putting $1 down. They're going to guarantee the rest. They're going to guarantee the loan. Then they said he worked for Republic Services. $1 billion, a Fortune 500 company all over the United States and even in Puerto Rico. Republic Services got a huge and big name. Okay? So they said, wow. And look at the income, because those guys get paid good. They said, okay, we'll give you this loan because all your ducks seem together. You got steady income, you can afford this home, and you've been doing the same thing for many years. They have no reason to turn me down. So, very credible job careers that got me what I was asking for. The military, again, I used my VA. And I used it every house I bought 4 times. No money now. And I loved it. My first home was a used home. Like the first home I bought. But all the other homes were brand new. I seen them go up when there was nothing but dirt on the ground. I watched them go up from the wood to the plumbing, the electricity, and I walked in that house. I ordered all my carpet and everything. Smelled good. It's a beautiful feeling to walk into a brand new house. Smells good. I'm the only owner, the first one. Man, that was one of the greatest feelings in my life when I got my first brand new house on Ann Road. I'll never forget it. Man, I'm just thinking about it right now. I just get excited, man, because I had my ducks in order and I had my ducks in a row. And if I can do it, a lot of your kids that are coming up can do the same thing, because I know some of you have done it that's watching this video. Now, again, this video is about positioning yourself for success and not failure. Success also works in steps. You go from an apartment, your own apartment, then you go to owning your own home. And at some point in life, it's called progress. You're moving up, not down. If you lose an apartment or a house, then get back on your feet and regain that ground that you lost at some point, and don't lay dead and defeated. Get back up. Get back in the game. And when you get your house, don't let nobody cause you to lose your house. Don't get in debt. Watch who you sign school loans for. Watch how much credit you incur, because one day you might want to sell that house and make a profit like I did. So be careful who is in your camp, because somebody don't like you got that house because they figure they don't like you. When the Lord start blessing you, when the Lord start blessing, the devil start messing. And they don't like it because you got your house, a nice car, and you doing things on your own without the assistance of a man. Some people don't like it. They can't stand you, or they think you selling drugs. So let me finish. I've seen a lot of people on my job get suspended, fired, because they allowed the regime to put pressure on them and cause them to walk off the job. Now, if God allowed you to get a good job, good paying job, especially a corporate job, why are you going to let the devil speak in your ear for you to walk away from that job? You out your mind. You got to go home, put your bootstrap up, suck it up, and come back, deal with it another day, another month, another year, because you got some goals that you want to achieve. So, if God blesses you with that job, you stay right there until He gives you a wisdom of mind to move to go somewhere else. A skilled job, and you put some years in, you got to stand your ground and fight, and don't just walk off the job. And again, until God gives you better or opens up another door. Because sometimes God closes one door to open up another door or even a better door. Okay? So always remember that when things get tough on the job, don't forget you got bills to pay. You got mouths to feed. So you got to pull it together, pull it back in. I know you want to knock somebody out, but you got to pull it back in and remember what your assignment is. And your assignment is success. You should have a success story to tell your grandchildren, whatever, when you get older, how you got over the hump because you kept it all together. You got to slow your roll and keep that job. Okay? Until you educate yourself for a better job. Now, when I first came to Las Vegas, after coming fresh out of the military, I was looking for another job. And I had a friend of mine that was supposed to hook me up at the Nevada test site. But things happened, and I didn't end up getting that job. Well, a pastor from a local church ended up taking me to Silver State Disposal and introducing me to the foreman. They said, yeah, we'll put them to work, because that's before it came into a corporation. Because once corporations get their filthy hands on a job, then things go crazy. So I was working that job. I worked there for the first couple of days. Said, man, this is killing me. Then I started thinking about, I got bills. I got to be a man. I got to put up my boots, put my big boy pants on, and get out there and buff it. Because I went to some tougher days in the military, out in the middle of the desert. So I went back to the job after taking the week off, because I worked the first day and I feel like I'm going to die. I was like, this ain't it. This ain't the revelation. I took a week off, came back, went to work, got on a different shift. And 29 years later, here I am. Ups and downs, good days, bad days. So I'm here. So, it's your life and it's your career. And I'm speaking from past experience that any plan that you put, and if it's corporate and it's a career job, it's going to work. Your next job will want to know why you departed from your past jobs. Now, if you leave one job and go to another, now they're going to want to know why you left that job. Remember, if you leave one job, you're upgrading to another and a better job. You ain't going down, but you're going up. Because one thing about me, I wasn't going down to the test sites pay. I was going up. Whatever job I took, I wasn't going down making $15 an hour. I was going up. So you got to keep a good track record on your old job, because it will follow you. Because they will call and ask, what kind of employee is he? Okay, so they want to know what kind of person you are. Are you a good person? Are you a bad person? Are you dependable? Are you on time for work? And my job as a sanitation engineer, I had certain customers that was waiting for me to come to their neighborhoods at a certain time. They heard the truck. They was glad to put their trash can out, because they know as soon as I go by their house, they'll bring it back in. They even had their kids coming out looking at the big old red truck. Want me to blow the horn for the kids. It was automatic, because they know that I was coming through at a certain time. They depended on me, and my company depended on me coming to work and doing my job and provide good customer service for our customers. Now, if you leave one job, make sure your next job is similar to the job you just left. So say, for instance, if I left for Public Services, I was driving a trash truck, automated truck. I can go work for maybe the power company driving a truck. Or go work for a gas tanker company driving a truck. Or I can work for Pepsi driving a truck. Or a water bottle company driving a truck. As long as it be the same thing, Now, if I switch it up altogether, now I don't wasted time building towards what I'm trying to do. Because don't forget, it ain't just about you, it's you and your family, or it's just you. And you trying to build a better future for yourself. This talk I wish I had got years ago when I was a little kid coming up, but I never got this talk. That's why I'm sharing it with you on the channel now. Already 30 minutes into my time. I didn't want to be on here long, but I've got to finish, or get close to finishing. So, lost my thought. So, drivers, remember, as you drive, your driving record also will follow you to your next job. If you tear up a truck or turn a truck over and you go to another job and try and get a job, they're going to find out. And your past will catch up with you. I was told what I do in my own time, my private time, will reflect also on my job time. Because if I go out there and I get a DUI, if I go out there and get into traffic violations, speeding tickets, my company every now and then they run a record to the DMV and see if you got any traffic violations. Because they can suspend you or they can terminate you if you done went out there and you did something wrong as far as your driving abilities. Some people run red lights in their cars. They don't want you running red light in their truck because now you got over $50,000, $60,000 worth of equipment that you're driving and you'll kill somebody. So anybody and everybody can't work for some companies. I remember when I started working for Silver State Disposal, the first trash company I worked for, they was hiring ex-cons, fresh off the prison block. They was hiring ex-cons. Now since the corporation took over, they won't even give you 3 minutes if they find out that you're a felon and that you're an ex-con. You'll never be able to work for this company. You see how things change? You see how times change? You got to get in where you can fit in. And some of them guys back in those days that retired because they put their time in and they're gone. I would say a good time to stay with this company, even drive company, I would do 25 to 30 years and be done with it. You don't need to go no further than that. Because if you go further than that, then some things could happen. You lose your job and you end up not getting nothing, pension or nothing. You got to know when it's your time to get up out of there. Because if you stay too long, you can be toe up from the floor up. You're going to retire from your job like some guys that I heard. They stayed too long. They should have been gone because the money going to be the same. The pension going to be the same. But they stayed too long, got too comfortable, got too relaxed, and stayed there and finally retired. And a year or two later, you hear about them dropping dead. You don't want to do that. You want to do your job and do your job long enough so you can retire and you can enjoy life. Because life is to be enjoyed. I'm almost finished. Almost finished. So, some people also that try to apply for a home loan. Now, I need to tell you this. Now, I want to bust your bubble. But if you apply for a home loan, you can't apply for a home loan as a disability. Expect disability to be an income because they don't look at it as that. So you got to have a job, a consistent job, a career job that the underwriter can look at you as a good investment, that somebody that we can trust and pay us back our loan, and pay us back our money, somebody that we don't have to come looking for. So your career should start once you hit high school. Then you're off to college, but you got a career. Don't just do one different little thing and then do something else in college. Take courses in high school if you can to work towards what you want to do in college. Whether you want to do law, business law, or whatever it may be, a doctor, you got to spend some years in that profession. I know people, black people, that's got double master's degrees and some white as well, okay? Because when you put the time in, then you looking good for your future. Good income. You ain't got to worry about when storms come, like COVID-19, to throw you off and knock you off. Like I said before, ever since 2007, 2008, the economy been on life support. And people been living paycheck to paycheck, running to a dollar loan center or a money tree to get payday loans. Barely making it because the checks that they getting from the boss don't go far enough. Some of them is wasteful. They waste money in the casinos, gambling, foolishness. Okay? Some of the stuff is self-inflicted, but some of it is really honest living. The money, everything is expensive. Everything is going up, ain't nothing going down. And you need all the money that you can get. So, again, it starts in high school. Then it goes to a whole nother level when you get to college. After college can get tricky now. College can get tricky. I'm almost finished. College can get tricky, but you don't forget what you were trained and what you studied for. Because I've seen people with college degrees that are doing handyman jobs. I've seen people with college degrees that are doing all different kind of jobs other than the jobs that they were trained to do. I've heard about nurses that go and get nurses degrees and they end up going sitting home just being a housewife. You got to have that career. And sometimes we live in such a season, in such a world now, that you just don't need one career. Sometimes you got to have plan A, plan B, and plan C. Many college students in this season hit pitfalls in the road and find themselves doing completely the opposite jobs that they labored, that they got a degree for. And they're doing those jobs. And let me tell you something, the struggle is real. And so one must push until you get the job you studied for. I'm so happy and so proud of my daughter, Dominique Vieira, that went to Arizona State University, okay? Got that degree. And now she's working in the law office. Makes my heart feel so good. And I got a couple other my sons. They started, but I don't know. One started, he quit. But I'm glad my daughter is got that, and I'm glad she said, she touched my heart. She said, I just didn't get this degree just for me. I got it for us, the whole family. She made me feel so good when she walked across that stage and got that diploma. That's what it's all about. Career, working jobs that will get you where you need to go in life. So in this season, many people again need to have more than just one career. Jobs that you need to, I'm sorry to say it, but you have to. I hate to see students walk around and not doing the jobs that they went to school to do. It troubles me. All that money you got to pay back, these college tuition fees. I like to see them working in their career field. And I like to say this before I close. Your career is your life pathway. I'll say it again. Your career path, whatever you decide to take, that's going to be the roadmap to the rest of your life. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you take some of these key wisdom points that career jobs are the best jobs and is the best pathway to go. Because the way our financial system is happening now is crazy. And these banks got bailed out in 2008. Some of them holding on to the money, don't want to give out home loans and student loans or whatever it may be. Okay? You got to look out for yourself. Because if you don't, shame on you. Hold on to these wisdom nuggets, because I never got this when I was a kid. You got to help yourself now while you're young. Can't wait till late in the game and you get 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. You got to hit that career spot right now. And I guarantee you, you come to the Caribbeans with Caribbean Eve, I'll shake your hand, congratulate you. Or your parents, or your siblings, or whoever out there will congratulate you for being a success story, because that's what we're looking for, a success story. We need more success story students. And I love to see them now on Facebook and they post, I'm a nurse and I've been working some long hours. You got a career. Thank God you made it. Hang in there, stick in there, and be of encouragement to them that's walking around with nothing. Because I'm going to tell you something, I learned this from a young man. I learned this from my old dad, my godfather. He said, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. But then the Bible said, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So everything starts here. And when you get it up here, no telling what you can do. So, in the meantime, between time, always remember life to be enjoyed. Hit that subscription notification. And guess what? We'll see you in the winner's circle. Peace.